We are live. It's a Thursday night presentation here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, and joining me tonight, Chris Webber and Greg Anthony, with our Hall of Famer David Aldridge reporting from the sideline. Now a look at the stats for Kyle Anderson.
And you can see the surge in his level of confidence lately just by looking at that true shooting percentage. It's been moving straight up in the past 5 games. I think he's feeling it.
And nothing tips off a broadcast like getting the lowdown from the sidelines. And we've got David Aldridge there for that. David, good evening.
Thank you, Kevin. Paul George has shown over the years that he remains one of the most versatile stars in the league. He said, "I pride myself on being effective on both ends. I try to do it all, play the right way, and just get lost in the game. I'll do everything I can to win." And guys, there's still not much he can't do with his combination of size and athleticism.
David, he clearly is a special talent, and his resume shows it. Thank you. And the athleticism, Chris, of both these teams should come into play tonight. No lack of quickness on either side of the ball.
Let's get it popping. This should make for a fun game. I mean, the tempo should be quick, and the fans, we should be happy.
Here are the 5 for the Clippers. The guard spots filled by Jackson and George. Morris at 4 with Ibaka at the 5. And it's Man in at the 3 slot. And for Memphis, Adams at center with Jackson next to him. Morant is out there with the Anthony Melton. And it's Brooks in at the small forward position. Now here's Morant. And he's currently averaging more than 26 points a game. Such a force. And it's blocked by Ibaka. And that's out of bounds. Memphis will retain possession. Stolen by George. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. That's on Jiren Jackson.
Wow, the shooting of Morris provides his team with just a real valuable part of this team.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
Gotta admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season. How about over 90%?
The first one falls. Both shots good from the stripe. Memphis with the ball. Here's Morant. No good with the layup. Here's Man. Brooks covering. Crafty move. And the rejection by Jackson. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jackson. Here's George. Boy, he was something else against San Antonio. Here's Melton. Misses the 3. Now the Clippers with it. And George kicks to Jackson. Puts up a 3. And it's Melton with the rebound. The Grizzlies have gone 0-3 from the field to start the game.
And you think back to the 2018 draft, Anthony Melton was a sleeper. And after falling to the 46th pick, a lot of teams now wishing they hadn't slept on Melton.
Yeah, 3 years later, he signs a 4-year, $35 million contract. Didn't hang his head, kept working, and he's earned his key.
Here's Jackson. Jiren Jackson making his last shot. Ibaka outside. Here's George, and George with the stuff.
And it's really hard to knock George off his balance. He's just so long and strong. Nice take there.
And here in the first, closing in on 2 minutes play. Morant surveying the D. From 11 feet away. Can't hit that one. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Their last game, a win against San Antonio, looking to carry that into this one.
And that one was all about offensive execution, running your plays, picking your spots.
And as long as you do that, you put yourself in a good position to win, no matter if you're home or away.
Outside, George shoots over Melton. George with the bucket.
And that's a staple of George's offensive game. His mid-range J continues to just torch defenses night in and night out.
Now here's Jackson. 23 points for him the last game against Houston.
And that didn't come at the cost of his defense. In fact, I think it fed his defense. He had 4 steals in that game.
And here's George for 3. And it's Morant with the rebound. Memphis has gone 0 of 2 from deep here to the paint. And Jackson throws it down hard.
Plays with the high level of energy and activity. Jackson's impactful around the rim.
Now George checking some stats on him right now. He's averaging just around 22.5 points a game. It's Jackson with the drive and the dunk by Jackson.
Oh, you just can't talk enough about the playmaking ability of Jackson. He's just phenomenal in the screen and roll set.
Now about 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. Morant with it. He's coming off a 22-point game against Houston.
I mean, and you look at his free throw numbers. I mean, this shows you how much pressure he put on the defense.
Now here's Jackson, trailing by 4. Shot clock at 6. Here's Brooks. No good off the back of the rim.
Credit to D for not giving up on that play. He's a tough cover down low.
And it's blocked by Ibaka.
And, well, he's been the NBA's leader in blocks multiple times. Ibaka just has that rare instinct for it.
Got that one up quick.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Here's Melton. Banked in off the glass.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Yeah, very little resistance. I mean, you got to bring much faster help than that.
Now, here is George. Ibaka, the pass to George. Ibaka sets the pick for George. Tries from 10. Again, Los Angeles. The Grizzlies trail by 7. Right side Jackson. And the dunk by Jackson.
And wait to finish and cut into that lead a little bit.
Yeah, but look at the basket guy still shaking. Stolen by Brooks. There's the feed to Morant. Poked loose. He's all alone. Here's Man. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
That's his first personal foul. Second team foul.
Greg, for teams that are slow out of the gate, their fans can really be impatient and unforgiving.
Yeah, the media, too. I mean, I played New York, so in that town, you go big or you get talked about. And it happens in small towns as well. It's just a harsh reality of pro sports.
First one falls for him. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. And here's Morant. He'll bring it up for Memphis. They trail by 7. And Adams with the slam.
Oh, he threw that one down. Adams, one of the fiercest competitors in the league.
Jackson against Morant. Pass to Man. And here's George for 3. It's hauled in by Adams. Memphis has gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Morant against Jackson. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. Serge Ibaka picks one up there.
Yeah, selected second in 2019, Kevin. Ja Morant, the highest draftee in Ohio Valley Conference history. And he became the second Grizzly ever to win Rookie of the Year, joining Paul Gasol.
And he knocks down the first one. Now, some people felt, Chris, that John Morant was an all-star snub in his rookie year.
Well, you look at what he accomplished in year one. I mean, he joined Magic Johnson, the great Isaiah Thomas, and Trae Young was the only 20-year-old rookies to average at 17 points and 7 assists per game. That's some lofty company.
Now, how about breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk?
A nice way to pad that lead a little more. You're right. Morant with a wide-open look. Off target from outside.
If he'd been even halfway decent today, the score would be a lot different, but he can't get anything to fall.
Inside, it's tipped. Stolen by Jackson. Morant outside. Serge Ibaka with the rebound.
And he has definitely been struggling in this quarter.
Just off his game, forcing a few shots, not letting the game come to him naturally.
George, no good.
I don't think the D does good enough here, but something causes the miss.
Here's Melton. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Which loudest section wants a T-shirt? All right, look who's coming up to the court. Come on and get back for your business.
So Memphis ends up going with the new group, and Los Angeles with some changes. Clippers leading by 4. Bledsoe outside. Over to the left wing. Zubac, the pass to Batum. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. 5 on the clock. Winslow dishes to Batum, and the layup is good. And the Clippers lead by 6.
The length Batum has allowing him to be effective. It's hard to match up against in these type of situations.
Tillman passes to Anderson. Good work there as it goes.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Bledsoe finds Kennard. Driving in. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
It's Kennard's ability to create that sets him apart. I mean, he gets inside and finds himself a shot.
The pass to Clark. Back to Anderson. It's tipped.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Yes, that goes in. And now it's an 8-point Los Angeles lead. And let's get your guys' take now on the hustle stats for the Clippers.
They deserve a lot of credit for the defense they've played in the paint here early. Contesting shots, blocking shots, just making life difficult on the opposing shooters in general.
And one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover.
And this is a sign that Anderson wants to evolve, looking to become a more dangerous offensive player.
Now here's Bledsoe. He also had a big impact in that win against the Spurs. Back to Zubac. Pass to Winslow. Zubac, a screen on Anderson. Winslow, the Grizzlies pull it in. Last time they met was in Los Angeles, where they beat the Clippers.
Yeah, their long-range artillery hit the mark more often than not. A great equalizer when you're on the road.
They were flat out sniping from deep. They look very comfortable pulling the trigger on the road.
Jones against Bledsoe. Into the lane. Anderson with the block.
And blocks like this fire Anderson up. As you turn, get his teammates going as well.
Gets it to fall. The bucket from Bain. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Grizzlies.
They deserve a lot of credit for the defense they've played in the paint here early. contesting shots, blocking shots, just making life difficult on the opposing shooters in general.
And the intensity is carried over into their ability to get out in passing lanes and really be disruptive in terms of their opponent's offense.
And so it's Memphis with it after Justice Winslow missing on that last three-pointer. And it's Justice Winslow with the foul. That's his first foul. How about that strong defensive performance for this half's Mobile One block?
And that is a huge block. Given how close this game is, a stop like that was right on point.
A second chance effort. And the rejection by Zubac. And that's out of bounds. Memphis will retain possession. Anderson with the ball, and Batum picks him up defensively. A nice shot by Anderson.
Oh, man. A sound perimeter shooter who massively improved his jump shot over the years. A testament to Anderson's work ethic.
It's time for T-shirt.
And obviously the season's just begun, but never too soon to check out the power rankings. Let's see how these teams are stacking up. Taking a look at Atlanta, they're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top five.
And when I look at the Clippers, they're happy with this latest stretch of games. This is the time of year for optimism. At this point, anything is possible.
And it's Bledsoe with the ball for the Los Angeles Clippers. Trailing by 2. Zubac finds Kennard. Batum sets a screen for Kennard. To end the run. Batum, good. Batum's got the game tied up here for Los Angeles.
Oh, as good as he is at creating his own shot, Kennard is also a solid distributor. He doesn't miss the open man when he spots him.
Clark dishes to Anderson. Lobbed up there for Clark. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
And he pulls off the Houdini to make that catch and slam it through.
Stupendous alley-oop. Bledsoe kicks to Winslow. Batum for 3. Doesn't go for it. Now Memphis takes it the other way. Passes it to Clark. They get a hand on it. And so the ball's out of bounds. Winslow touched it last. Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. You take a look at the Grizzlies. They're 6th best right now, looking to make a move up in the standings. And, of course, the Clippers, just a few spots below there.
And for the Grizzlies, this hasn't been the breakout season that many were predicting, but they're still very much in the hunt for a high postseason seed, and that will keep them focused here during the season's final stages.
Yeah, they'll be there in the playoffs. I'm sure of that. It's just a matter of how high they'll be seated.
Kennard, the pass to Batum. And it's blocked.
Well, this is where measurements don't tell the whole story. Clark is a tremendous shot blocker despite having an average wingspan.
Good on the triple. Now it's a 5-point Grizzly lead.
That's the kind of D that you're not going to find success with, guys. They've got to get a hand in the face.
Bledsoe kicks to Zubac. Back to Bledsoe. And Jones pulls it down. Jones has got his 4th rebound in this one. Shot from the top of the key, and the Grizzlies tack on 2 more.
You're off to a strong start here early. 6 points off second chance buckets.
Pass to Winslow. Zubac with it. Kennard for 3. He can't get that one to fall. Clark against Winslow. Here's Clark. Outside, Jones. And the Grizzlies tack on 2 more.
And creating a little separation here, gaining some confidence.
Yeah, it feels like they're just one step ahead right now, looking to build out their advantage even further.
And so it's Memphis, ahead by 9 as the quarter comes to a close. And they've done a phenomenal job down low, so many of their points coming right at the rim. We'll return shortly.
All right.
And one of the better young two-way big men in the NBA, Jiren Jackson. He talked about how his defensive responsibilities grow.
Probably be more of a backline help, talk more, give more help for the rotations because, you know, depending on what team you play, there's a lot of specific things you got to do to guard a certain player.
with his 7'4" wingspan, Jackson has all the tools to be an elite rim protector.
But advanced understanding of positioning. His father was an NBA player, so he's been taught the game from a young age.
Memphis foul.
And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And for Memphis guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
Well, you can see these guys are unafraid to take chances defensively.
Yeah, it's a gambling style that pays off, keeping things in disarray for that offense.
And the Clippers, looking at who they've got, Morris at 4 with Ibaka at the 5. The guard spots filled by Jackson and George. And it's man in at the 3, the small forward. And both free throws good for Paul George. And competition is at the root of all sports. Certainly sometimes, things get chippy. And as a player, Greg, how do you handle that aspect when emotions and physicality get going?
Kevin, you're always taught to control your emotions, but it's easier said than done. And in reality, sometimes you have to man up. You have to let it be known that you're not going to accept things. And at the same time, you got to be smart. So the goal is to beat the other team, not literally.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Paul George has taken some heat in recent years. He says people get so caught up in what other folks think. I'm Paul George. I don't care to be anybody else. I am who I am. You love it or you don't. Simple as that. Guys, with his player on the floor, he has answered his critics.
He is certainly playing at an elite level. EA, thank you.
And guys, George puts pressure on an opponent at both ends of the court. Lockdown D at one, aggressive to get his own at the other.
The Clippers shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
And both free throws good for Paul George.
And we all know what George brings offensively, but it's his ability as a defender that stands out. Great instincts to make plays on that end of the floor.
Now, here's Melton. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Houston.
And he also chipped in with a couple blocks in that game. Just a hint at the impact he had on the defensive side. A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
Jackson passes to Man. And Ibaka kicks to Jackson. Here he goes. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up. And with Paul George and his defense, Greg, you almost forget how great of an impact it makes.
He just kind of flies under the radar with his defensive play. I mean, this guy could be considered for the Defensive Player of the Year almost every year. One of the more disruptive forces on that end of the floor.
Here's Morant. And that one goes. First for him tonight, 1 for 8.
Oh, he gets a lot of attention. I mean, Morant can expect this kind of rough treatment anytime he takes it inside.
George looking around. There's Jackson with the 3. Grizzlies with the rebound. Adams has got his 4th rebound in this one. He takes it in. Misses off the right iron.
Now, look, even if he had other places to go with the ball, that's a good shot. You can't blame him for letting that one fly.
Kicks it to Jackson. And here's George for 3. And the rebound by Jiren Jackson. And the Grizzlies leading by 9. Lets a floater go. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Some solid defense there from Jackson.
A really tough night for him offensively. I mean, I wonder what the score would be if he wasn't so cold from the field.
On the wing, Jackson. Los Angeles with another miss. And here's Brooks. He'll bring it up with the Grizzlies. They've got the Timberwolves ahead of them next in Minneapolis. That'll be the first half of a 2-game trip. Here's Morant. Now the pass to Melton. No good from outside.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Outside, George. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
The length and quickness of George is so difficult to guard against. That really compromises the defense, forcing them to foul.
And the first one at the line is good.
And getting to the line and hitting your free throws, a good way to get back into the game. It stops the clock and extends the game and allows you the opportunity to set your defense. They've been perfect from the line so far here in the second quarter.
Oh, you can get spoiled watching him at the line. I mean, you just expect him to make every one, every time.
Left side, Jackson. And the rejection by Ibaka. Here's man. Brooks covering. Pass to man. Outside Jackson. Here's George. And George with the stuff.
Oh, and when there's an open man, Jackson finds him, making it look very easy.
And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. Here's Morant. It's not going to go for him. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. George passes to man. Back to George. Outside for Jackson. Fires the three. Good on the three-point shot. Jackson's got 5 points so far.
Jackson has improved his three-point stroke. He can't be left alone from outside.
And the loudest section gets free t-shirts. Let's see who's the loudest. And the Grizzlies.
And with a quick break in the action, here's some numbers for Reggie Jackson. He's averaging 11 points a game, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. He's been making the right decisions and letting the game come to him. Solid play all around.
Yeah, GA, I like it because he's not overcomplicating things. I mean, he's just playing to his strengths and taking what the defense gives him.
Now here's Brooks. 8 points his last outing. Shot from 12. That one off the back iron and out.
It's been a really tough quarter for him. I mean, he cannot get his shots to drop.
Stolen. And here's Melton. He averages more than 12 points a game. That's some dependable production. Memphis moving it around. It's deflected. And it's out of bounds. The Grizzlies able to retain possession here. And a quick look now at how the Memphis Grizzlies schedule is shaping up. On Saturday, they'll take on Karl Anthony Towns and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Then on Monday, they'll be matching up against Mike Conley and the Utah Jazz.
You know, some might look ahead at the schedule and start marking off how many wins they'll wind up with, but I think that's a trap. You can't take any nights off in the NBA, and you've got to stay in the moment.
Out to Ibaka, passes it to George. This one for three, and again Los Angeles with the triple.
Taking things into his own hands. He's been a beast this quarter.
Trying to break that ice-cold streak. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
That's his first.
That's on Reggie Jackson.
You gotta love how attacking Morant is. I mean, he's so excellent at forcing the issue of getting the foul.
The Grizzlies shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. First free throw is good.
And if you're wondering if Ja Morant lacks for confidence, well, look no further than his point god moniker. This kid is fearless, and he's hungry, and he plays with that proverbial chip on his shoulder.
So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses. And Greg, you talk about the fearlessness for Morant, reminiscent of Allen Iverson, the way he throws his body all around.
I mean, get knocked down, get right back up. At the same time, at 6'3", he can add strength to that frame. I know that's the goal of his as he looks to absorb contact and dish out a little of his own.
Adams with the screen on George. Morant with it. It's Ibaka picking him up. And it's blocked by Ibaka.
Not the most productive quarter he'll ever have, but his shot selection's been a little bit dubious.
Pass to Jackson. There's the 3. And they get it back. For 3, it's Ibaka. That time on the assist by Jackson. Jackson's got 3 assists tonight. Morant against Jackson. Out to Brooks. From downtown, Jackson misses. Clippers have gotten exactly half their shots to go down here in the second, 5 of 10. Outside, George looking for Ibaka. He gets it there. Here's Melton trying to get open as Brooks. Melton, no good. The Clippers shooting at an even 50% from the floor here in the second quarter. Down low, deflects the pass. Shot's good by Ibaka.
Yeah, high percentage look there for Ibaka. He can be automatic in there when given room.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. Tough loss coming against the Rockets in the last game they played.
I'll tell you, they played hard, they drew fouls, but they could not convert at the line.
You can't leave empty points at the line. Those are gimmies, no excuses.
So both teams changing it up here. Right now, let's have a moment to check out the NBA's best three-point shooters. 5th on the list, Nick Batum.
What a percentage that is for him from three-point range this season. His deep touch is about as good as you're going to see.
Jones against Bledsoe. Jones drives in, and the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It's on Nicholas Batum.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
And that one falls for Jones. And the Clippers making a change here. Jackson's checked in, and so Jones nails both of them. The Clippers have gone 6 of 11 from the floor, over 50% shooting here in the second quarter. Winslow is screen on Jones. Jackson passes to Winslow, and the dunk by Winslow.
Oh, man, in these screen and roll plays, Jackson is just exceptional. Just reads the defense well and delivers remarkable passes to his teammates.
Now here's Jones. He's got 9. Here's Bane driving to the basket. That one good for 2. Bane's got it all tied up now for the Grizzlies. Jackson against Jones. It's stolen by Jones. Here's Bane. He has 5. And it's Justice Winslow with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
14 foul.
Jones looking for an opening, driving the lane, and 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And this is his second trip to the line in the game. And that one falls for Jones.
At the line for 2.
And so Jones nails both of them.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
Jackson against Jones. Outside Jackson. Zubats a screen on Jones. Jackson. Zubats, that's good. Zubats has got his first basket.
I like that pick play. I mean, you can see how easily it makes it for him to get to the cup.
Winslow against Anderson. That's good. Basket number 5 on a 5-for-8 night shooting.
But thanks to Kyle Anderson's size advantage over most of his matchups, he's an effective interior scoring option.
And the pass to Zubats. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. Outside, Batum. Clock at 4. Kennard finds Zubats. There's Jackson with the 3. And another 3 for the Clippers.
And the D has gotten a little bit laxed here defending the triple.
Pass to Bain. To the left side wing. Jones against Jackson. Jones, no luck. The Clippers in the lead. Kennard, the pass to Zubats. Outside Jackson. Outside Batum. Jackson with it. Guarded now by Clark. Kennard kicks to Zubats. There's Winslow. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation.
And while we've got a chance, let's look at the stats for Kyle Anderson. Averaging 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. And to have a player who can fill it up like him coming in off the bench, what an asset.
Well, the offense, I mean, for the second unit is built around his ability to score. He usually delivers.
Now Kennard. He's coming off a 10-point game against San Antonio.
That's 2 really unproductive trips in a row, ending in turnovers.
Memphis has gone to the three-pointer 11 times tonight and nailed 5 of them. And the rejection by Zubats. And that one goes out of bounds. Nice touch by Zubats. Here's Clark. And he converts the layup. And the Grizzlies lead by 1. And Los Angeles guys shooting at 50% in a decent crew. Batum a screen on Jones. Jackson passes to Batum. And good that time. Batum's got 6 points. 6 changes of the lead here.
Yeah, both teams still kind of feeling their way through this game.
Jones against Jackson. Clark sets a screen for Jones. And the rejection by Zubats. Lets the 3 fly. And Batum gets it to go on the assist by Winslow. And now a 4-point Clipper lead. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Here's Bain. Kennard covering. To the middle. Here's Clark over Kennard. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And Brandon Clark, a dangerous finisher. Not only as a dunker, but his floater game is on point as well.
Well, you see why the Sean Marion comparisons are made. I mean, that great touch combined with his vertical leap, you know, they make him a handful inside.
And that one falls for Clark.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
And so Clark nails both of them.
The potential is there. For Clark, it's about expanding the range so that it makes him more versatile offensively.
Now here's Jackson. Batum finds Zubats. Offline with his 3.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Pass to Tillman. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. Looking ahead to their next game, playing at New Orleans. They'll match up against the Pelicans. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. Now here's Winslow. Over Anderson. Again, Los Angeles.
Look, he pounces on the chance where the D falls asleep. Easy 2.
Batum against Clark. And the basket is good. Clark's got the game tied up here for the Grizzlies.
Looking nimble on the drive there. Once Clark sees an opening in the defense, he's looking to exploit.
Jackson with it. It's Kennard, top of the key. He kicks to Batum. Back to Jackson. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. It's a tie game in Memphis. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Here with Ty Lue, good rhythm for your offense in the first half. What did you like about the start?
Moving the basketball, taking the right shot, making the right play. When we make the extra pass, we're a tough team to beat.
And you were sure tough in the first half, Coach. Thanks. Back to you.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
Hello, everybody. So far, a fairly